Hey, if you're watching this video, chances are that you already know that my name is Aiden, or you at least know that my URL is hewhocriedwolf.tumblr.com. Um, this is my dog Tilly, who will be joining me during this video. Yeah, first off, I'd like to apologise for the fact that my voice sounds absolutely ridiculous right now. I have a bit of a cold, so yeah, the ridiculous voice sort of comes along with that. But things are all good. I'm certainly feeling a lot better than I was a few days ago. Um, what happened is I asked people for questions, and I got questions, and now I'm going to answer them in this video. Um, the first question comes from my friend Cleo, who is godobsessions.tumblr.com, and she asked me to list 3 of my favourite lines from my favourite songs. It's kind of hard to think of on the spot, but the one that sticks out to me is from a Josh Pike song called Middle of the Hill, and the line is just simply, "You can never really see the top from the bottom. I don't pay enough attention to the good things when I've got them." And I just think it's a really good way to look at life and to think about life in that, you know, when you're stuck in a rut, it's really hard to see yourself getting out of it sometimes, and it's really hard to see that things will get better. But that line is sort of makes you realise that things really are going to get better, even if you can't see they are. And it also tells you not to take things for granted. And I like to think that I've learnt a lesson from that line. I really like lines and lyrics and songs that get you thinking about life and get you to have a more positive outlook on life. I think because it just seems to have a it's just got a if something's got a positive effect, then how can you not appreciate it, and how can it not mean something to you? My next questions are from mistakesandladders.tumblr.com, who is Anthea. She's also quite lovely. And she asked me a set of questions. First one being, how do you like your tea? I'm not actually much of a tea fan. I'm not sure if that means I'll be extradited off Tumblr. But I really like soy mocha, if anybody's wondering. Soy mocha is my drink of preference. She next asked me how old was I when I first learned to ride a bike. I was 4 when I first learned to ride a bike with training wheels, and I was 6 when I first learned to ride a bike without training wheels, because the first bike I received without training wheels was on my 6th birthday. I then got asked if I played sports by her, which I don't, because I am absolutely lazy and terrible, and I've just never been much good at them, even though I wish I was, but I have absolutely no talent, no skill, no natural ability, and really no drive to get better at it. It's just not my cup of tea, to be honest. It's funny because tea also isn't my cup of tea, but oh. She asked, what is your guilty pleasure? For this, I'm going to say that my guilty pleasure is I like to take late night drives by myself or with friends, just to like clear my head or think about things, or like to facilitate a chat with a friend. And I think I feel a bit guilty about that because it's unnecessary driving, which means I'm unnecessarily polluting the environment, which is not a good thing, I don't think. And it's definitely not something that I really want to be doing, want to have on my shoulders, but I do it anyway, so I guess it's my guilty pleasure. The last dream I had, she then asked me for. I don't actually remember mine, I'm really sorry, but my friend Anya was sleeping in my bed with me the other day. Nothing sexual, I promise. Was sleeping in my bed with me on Saturday night, and she had a dream that involved Professor Minerva McGonagall, who was actually playing a policewoman in her dream, if I remember correctly. And she was playing a policewoman, and I can't remember exactly what happened, but she described it to me, and it was great. She had a more exciting dream than me that night, I think, basically. I woke up grinding the bed, though, so I was obviously having some description, some kind of like a sex dream. But yeah, hers sounded more exciting than mine. Then I also got asked, what countries have you visited, and where would you like to visit? I haven't ventured outside of Australia yet, which makes me really boring, but I'd like to go to the UK, especially Ireland for some reason. I don't know. I'd really like to go to, I guess, normal Northern Ireland and the island itself. I'd like to go to both of them. I'd like to go to New Zealand, and I'd really like to go to Sweden. She then asked me, have you visited any other states in Australia? I visited Queensland, which I'm not really sure if I like. Sorry, Queenslanders. Just really wasn't my cup of tea. And I also visited Sydney, which I did like a lot more, but didn't quite get to spend enough time there. I was only there for about a week. It sort of sucked. But I would really like to go to Melbourne, and I'd like to go somewhere in Tasmania probably, and I'd really like to go to Adelaide as well, but even though people say that it's sort of a shit city, but I mean, Perth is a shit city, people say, and I love it here, so I'm sure I'd like it. I'm sure I'd enjoy it. Next question. From an anonymous person who asked me, what is the hardest thing you've done and what has hurt you the most? Well, this is a question I don't like answering much because I'm not going to lie, I have had such an easy life and I've got nothing to answer this question with. I guess I know I've written on my blog quite a few times, so it's nothing new. I've had like quite a lot of self-esteem related problems in my life, I suppose, most of which are gone now, and the effects of which I'm not really going to go into here because I'm not appropriate for Tumblr. But yeah, I definitely had a lot of problems with self-image and self-esteem issues throughout my life, but they're mostly gone, so life is good. What has hurt me the most? I don't know. I like most kids. Got bullied like quite a bit in high school. I guess that hurt me quite a bit, but again, it's something that I've moved past now, so I don't really. You know, it just doesn't bother me that much anymore. But at the time, that did hurt, and it was something that bothered me a lot, I suppose. So that is a sufficient answer. Zachariah then asked, "How have you been?" Zachariah, I have been well. Um, Life's pretty good. Been spending lots of time with friends, and yeah, just generally having a good time. I surround my when I want to be happy, I surround myself with people, and I pretty much always want to be happy. So if I surround myself with people, then I know I'll be happy. So I do surround myself with people, so I will be happy. So I have nothing to complain about with life because everything's good because I try to make myself happy. Nuts. Yeah. But apart from that, uni's been good. I've not really been doing a lot of work at uni. I've sort of just been spending a lot of time chilling with friends on the lawn in the sun, which has been good. But I've been enjoying my units. So I've been enjoying them. I've got all good units this semester. I like contract law a little bit. It's kind of fun. I like torts law more. I've got a really good teacher for it. And both my communications units are a bit of fun this semester too. One of them gets you really thinking about media and really gets you thinking about things, which I really like. And the other one is all about film production, which is a load of fun. So yeah, I got nothing to complain about there. That's my life at the moment. It's good. It's good. Stuff is good. I then have a question from an anonymous person asking me what my interests are. Oh god, I feel bad saying this because I don't have a lot of them, if any. I suppose I like Tilly. She's one of my interests. I also like Tumblr, surprisingly. I really like sort of just random weird things. Like, I go off on tangents with weird things that I like. I really like researching like the history of Perth and things like that. I'm also really obsessed by public transport systems. I will research public transport systems, especially in Australia, for hours and hours on end. Some days, it interests me. Another thing is regional TV networks in Australia and the history of them. That's something I find interesting, and I don't know why. That's one of the most random things to find interesting, but I really like that. I like Australian films. I I like, oh, and I have this weird interest in like sexually transmitted diseases and like just knowing about them and knowing all the different ones and like the symptoms and possible cures or treatments and stuff. I know, I find them interesting too. Weird, yeah, I know. Then I am a Max, whose real name is Laura, has asked Tilly a few questions. She's asked her, what is her favourite food? Tilly would like to say that her favourite food are dog chocolates. They're sort of like, you can buy them from Woolies for like $1.79 for 200 grams of them, and it's just like chocolate that dogs can eat, and she loves them, like more than anything ever, more than me even. So that's her answer there. I am Max would also like to ask her, where do you sleep? I'll show you that in a second. She would also like say, do you like smelling other dogs' butts? Do you like smelling other dogs' butts? Pretty sure that was a shake of the head, so I don't think she does. I am Max and asks, is Aiden smelly? Perhaps I am because she's trying to get away from me right now, so I'm not entirely sure. Perhaps I am. And she asks, have you ever stolen his shoes and chewed them up? No, she hasn't, but she does steal my socks quite often, and my stuffed toys, which I probably shouldn't have anyway because I am a 19-year-old, almost 20-year-old male. So, yeah. I'll show you Tilly's bed. Really not that exciting, but we'll go around there. This is where Tilly lives. And yeah, this is her favourite toy. It's a mouse from IKEA. Yeah, that concludes our video, I think. I hope you all have a lovely night. Farewell.